Lord my God, in this very moment when my soul seems to tremble like leaves carried by an invisible wind, I come before you without masks, without reservations, without the strength to hide what I feel, because you know my heart even before I open my lips, and you know that deep within me there is a cry, urgent, profound, almost suffocated, asking for help. I seek you now, just as the psalmist said in the Bible, in Psalm 34:4. I sought the Lord, and he answered me. He delivered me from all my fears. And that is exactly what I need today, my God, to be delivered from my fears. Because fear has been speaking loudly within me, Lord. It whispers doubts when I try to have faith. It shouts insecurities when I try to trust. It paralyzes me when I need to move forward. And anxiety, Father, has been like a constant weight on my chest, as if something were always about to go wrong, as if I were always running even when I am standing still, as if my soul could never find rest. But now, Lord, I refuse to remain trapped in this cycle. I refuse to accept that fear has a louder voice than your promise. I refuse to allow anxiety to dictate the course of my life. So I place myself before you, not because I am strong, but because I know that you are. Not because I have answers, but because you are the answer. Not because I can do it alone, but because without you I can do nothing. Beloved Father, look within me now. Walk through every restless thought, every memory that still hurts, every worry that keeps returning. You know what I cannot even explain. You know the sleepless nights, the silent battles, the tears no one has seen. And even so, Lord, you have never abandoned me. Even when I felt lost, you were there. Even when I doubted, you remained faithful. I ask you now, with all the sincerity of my soul, touch the root of my anxiety, not just the symptoms, Lord, but the origin, the place where fear began to grow. Uproot, Father, everything that does not come from you, every lie I have believed, every insecurity that has taken hold, every voice that does not reflect your truth. For your word says that you have not given us a spirit of fear, but of power, of love, and of a sound mind. And I want to live in that truth, Lord. I want to feel that peace that surpasses all understanding. I want to experience that security that does not depend on circumstances. I want to rest, even when everything around me seems uncertain. But I confess, Father, sometimes it is hard to trust. Sometimes I look at the future and feel small. Sometimes I look at my problems and they seem bigger than my faith. Sometimes I get lost in the what-ifs, and my mind creates scenarios that never happen, yet still make me suffer. So, Lord, I surrender my mind to you now. I lay before you every racing thought, every repetitive worry, every hidden fear. I give you control, because I know that when I try to control everything, I lose myself. But when I trust in you, I find peace. Teach me, Father, to rest in you. Teach me to silence the noise within me and hear your voice. Teach me to replace fear with faith, anxiety with trust, doubt with hope. Transform, Lord, the way I think. Renew my understanding. Align my heart with your truth. And as I pray, I begin to remember everything you have already done, to remember how many times I thought I wouldn't make it, but I did because you were with me, to remember doors that opened, deliverances I didn't even notice at the time, to remember that you have never failed, never been late, never abandoned me. And that begins to change something within me now, Lord, because if you were faithful before, you will continue to be. If you sustained me yesterday, you will sustain me today and also tomorrow, because you are the same yesterday, today, and forever. So I declare Even if there is still a little fear within me, even if anxiety tries to return, I choose to trust. I choose to believe. I choose to hold on to your word above my feelings, because I know my feelings change, but your truth remains. Father, enter now into the deepest places of my soul, the ones I have avoided for so long, the ones I tried to ignore. Touch them, Lord. Heal them. Restore them, because I know that your presence does not hurt. It heals. It does not accuse, it transforms. It does not destroy, it rebuilds. And as I continue speaking with you, something begins to happen. As if a weight starts to lift, as if a light begins to enter, as if fear is losing its strength. Not because I am strong, but because your presence is here, now, in this very moment. Lord, I don't want just temporary relief. I don't want just a few minutes of peace. I want true transformation. I want lasting freedom. I want to live a life where anxiety does not dominate me, where fear does not control me, where your peace is greater than any storm. And I know this begins here, in this moment of surrender, in this secret place, in this sincere dialogue between me and you, where I stop trying to be strong on my own and begin to depend fully on you. Continue, Lord. Continue working within me. Continue breaking invisible chains. Continue strengthening my faith. Continue teaching me to trust, even when I don't understand, because I know this prayer does not end here. It is only beginning, and there is so much more that you still want to do within me. Lord, as I continue in this conversation with you, I feel as though my soul is slowly being wrapped in your presence, like someone who, after a long time in the middle of a storm, begins to realize that there is a shelter, a safe place, and that place is you, my God. It has always been you, because, Father, as I keep seeking you, I begin to understand something deeper. The anxiety that so often overwhelms me is not born only from external circumstances, but also from the way I have been looking at them. It is born when I take my eyes off you and fix them on the size of my problems. It is born when I forget who you are and start believing more in what I feel than in what you have already declared. But today, Lord, I want to change that. I want to realign my perspective. I want to learn to see life from your point of view, because I know that when I place you at the center, everything else falls into its proper place. Beloved Father, how many times have I allowed myself to be carried away by thoughts that did not come from you? How many times have I fed fears that never came to pass? How many times have I suffered in advance, carrying burdens that did not even exist yet? And all of this has been consuming my peace, draining my strength, stealing my joy. But now I recognize, Lord, I need to be more watchful over what I allow to remain in my mind. I need to be more intentional with my thoughts. I need to take captive everything that tries to rise against your truth and bring it into obedience to you. Because your word teaches me that what I think directly influences what I feel, and what I feel influences what I do. So, Father, begin this transformation within me. Start in my mind. Start in my thoughts. Replace, Lord, every fearful thought with a reminder of your faithfulness. Replace every worry with one of your promises. Replace every doubt with a firm conviction that you are in control of all things. Teach me to pause, even in the middle of the rush, to take a deep breath and remember that I am not alone, that there is a sovereign God governing every detail of my life, a God who sees the invisible, who knows the future, who understands what I still cannot comprehend. Lord, I surrender to you. Now my concerns about the future, those things I do not yet know how will unfold, those situations that seem uncertain, those decisions that make me feel insecure. I place it all in your hands, because I recognize that trying to control the future has only increased my anxiety. Trying to predict everything has only made me more exhausted. Trying to guarantee outcomes has only pulled me away from peace. So today, Father, I choose to trust, even without understanding, even without seeing, even without having all the answers. And as I say this, Lord, I feel as though you are inviting me to take a deeper step, not just to trust with words, but to trust with my heart, to truly trust, to trust to the point of resting. And that is not easy, Father, because there is a part of me that wants to stay in control, that wants to ensure everything will work out, that wants to protect itself. But I know that this need for control has been exactly what has kept me bound. So I let go of that now, Lord. I release it. I surrender it. I hand it over, because I know that when I hold on, I become overwhelmed. But when I surrender, you take over. Father, enter now into the areas of my life where anxiety has been strongest. Perhaps in my finances, perhaps in my relationships, perhaps in my health, perhaps in my dreams. You know exactly where it is most intense. And touch those places, Lord. Touch them with your peace. Touch them with your presence. Touch them with your truth, because I know that a single word from you can calm any storm. Just as Jesus calmed the sea with authority, I believe that you can calm the chaos within me. And as I remain here, speaking with you, I begin to notice something. Anxiety always tries to push me into the future, into what has not yet happened. But your presence brings me back to now, to this moment, to this place where you are with me. So I choose to be here, Lord, present, aware of your presence, aware of your care, aware that in this very moment, I am being sustained by you. And that changes everything, because when I am with you in the present, the future is no longer a threat. It becomes a place. You are already preparing, a path you already know, a story you are already writing. Father, strengthen my faith in this process, because I know that faith is not the absence of fear. It is the decision to trust even when fear tries to speak louder. It is continuing to walk even when my legs tremble. It is continuing to believe even when my emotions do not follow. And I want to live like this, Lord. I want to develop a mature faith, a steady faith, a faith that does not depend on circumstances, a faith that remains firm even on difficult days. But I know this does not happen all at once. It is a process. It is a journey. And I accept that, Father. I accept growing. I accept learning. I accept being shaped by you. And during this process, Lord, help me to be patient with myself. Help me not to condemn myself when I fail. Help me not to give up when I feel afraid. Help me to remember that you are with me in every step. Because sometimes, Father, anxiety also comes with guilt. Guilt for not trusting more. Guilt for still feeling afraid. Guilt for not being strong enough. But today I reject that guilt in the name of Jesus, because I know that you do not accuse me. You welcome me. You do not reject me. You draw me closer. You do not abandon me in my weakness. You strengthen me within it. So I come near to you with confidence, not because of what I have done, but because of who you are, a merciful God, patient, full of love and grace. And as I draw near, I feel something within me being restored, as if broken parts of my soul are being carefully rebuilt, as if you are bringing order where there was once confusion, peace where there was once unrest. Lord, continue this work. Do not stop now. Go deeper. Go further. Reach areas I have not even noticed yet. Touch memories that still hurt. Heal wounds that still influence my present. because I know that many of my anxieties have roots in the past, experiences that marked me, words that wounded me, situations that left me insecure, and all of this has shaped the way I see the world. But today I also surrender my past to you, Lord. I place before you every memory, every pain, every scar, and I ask, redeem it all, transform it all. Use even what hurt me to produce growth, healing, and maturity within me. And as you do this, I begin to realize that I am no longer the same person. Something is changing. Something is being aligned. Something is being strengthened. Fear no longer has the same power. Anxiety no longer dominates as before, because your presence is filling that space. Your truth is replacing the lies. Your peace is filling the emptiness. And I know, Lord, that this is only the beginning of something even greater, because the closer I get to you, the more I am transformed. The more I seek you, the more I find freedom. So I remain here, surrendered, available, open, ready for everything you still want to do, because I sense that something deeper is coming, something more intense, a level of surrender I have not yet reached. And I want to go there, Lord. I want to continue. I want to move forward, because I know that what you have begun in me will not be left unfinished. And as I remain in your presence, with a heart more and more surrendered, I realize that I am being led to an even deeper place of surrender, where there is no room left for reservations, where everything must be laid on your altar. And it is to this place that my soul is being led now. Lord my God, as I continue to go deeper into your presence, I realize that I am no longer in the same place where I began this prayer. Something within me has shifted. Something has been broken. Something has been aligned. And now I feel that I am being led to an even deeper, more intimate, more truthful place. A place where there is no room left to hide anything, where there is no longer a way to negotiate parts of my life, where everything must be completely surrendered to you. And it is here, Lord, right here, in this place of total surrender, that I place myself now. Father, I surrender to you not only my obvious fears, but also those I did not even realize I was carrying. Hidden fears, silent fears, disguised as control, as excessive worry, as a need for approval. Fears that have infiltrated the way I live, and for a long time I did not even notice them. I give you my fear of loss, the fear of not being enough, the fear of failure, the fear of the future, the fear of the unknown, the fear of rejection, the fear that things will not go as I planned, the fear of not being able to sustain what I have achieved, the fear of not being able to handle what is still to come. Lord, I lay all of this before you now, not with shame, not trying to hide, but with sincerity, with humility, recognizing that I desperately need your intervention, because I understand now, Father. Fear tries to occupy the place that should belong to faith. It tries to make me trust more in negative scenarios than in your promises. It tries to distort reality, making it seem as though I am alone, helpless, vulnerable, when in truth, you are with me at all times. But today, Lord, I make a conscious choice, a spiritual decision, a choice that goes beyond my emotions. I choose to break free from this cycle of fear. I choose no longer to feed these voices. I choose no longer to give authority to thoughts that do not come from you. And for that, Father, I need to go beyond words. I need to allow you to transform the deepest parts of my being. I need to let your truth become more real to me than any opposing feeling. So, Lord, write your word upon my heart. Let it not be something I merely know, but something I live, something I breathe, something that sustains every decision, every thought, every reaction. Remind me constantly of who you are. Remind me that you are my refuge, my fortress, my ever-present help in times of trouble. Remind me that I do not need to fear because you are with me, that I do not need to be afraid because you are my God, that you strengthen me, help me and uphold me with your righteous right hand. Lord, I want to live this truth in a practical way, in my daily life, in simple moments, in unexpected situations, when anxiety tries to return, when fear tries to rise again. And I know this will happen, Father. I know there will be moments when old thoughts try to come back. I know there will be difficult days, days when my faith seems smaller, days when my mind feels more restless. But it is exactly in those moments, Lord, that I want to respond differently, that I want to choose to trust, that I want to stop, breathe, and remember that you are still in control, that nothing has slipped from your hands, that nothing has caught you by surprise. Teach me, Father, to interrupt cycles of anxiety, to not feed destructive thoughts, to not allow a small worry to turn into a storm within me. Give me discernment to recognize when my mind is being influenced by fear, and strength to redirect it back to your truth. And more than that, Lord, fill me with your presence in such a way that there is no room left for fear to remain, because where your light enters, darkness cannot stand. Where your peace reigns, anxiety finds no place. Beloved Father, in this moment I feel that I am being invited into an even deeper level of surrender, not only of my emotions, but of my life as a whole, of my plans, my dreams, my expectations. And that, Lord, that is difficult, because I have desires, I have goals, I have things I would like to happen in a certain way. But I know that as long as I am attached to these expectations, there will always be room for anxiety. There will always be fear that things will not go the way I want. So I surrender all of this to you now. Every plan, every dream, every expectation, I place it all on your altar, and I say, let your will be done, not mine. Because I trust you, Lord, even without understanding, even without seeing the full picture. I trust that your will is good, perfect, and pleasing. I trust that your way is better than mine. I trust that you know exactly what you are doing. And as I make this surrender, something powerful happens within me. It is as if invisible chains are being broken, as if a heavy burden is being lifted, as if for the first time in a long time, I am truly free. Free from the need to control everything, free from the pressure of having all the answers, free from the constant fear of what might go wrong. And in its place, Lord, something new begins to grow, a different kind of peace, a deeper trust, a security that does not depend on circumstances, but on your presence. Father, strengthen this within me. Do not let this transformation be temporary. Deepen it, root it, establish it as a new foundation in my life, because I do not want to return to the same place. I do not want to go back to living dominated by anxiety. I do not want to be held captive by my fears again. I want to live as someone who truly trusts you, as someone who truly rests in you, as someone who truly believes that you are taking care of everything. And I know, Lord, that this does not mean there will be no challenges. It does not mean everything will be easy, but it does mean that no matter what happens, I will not be alone. I will not be helpless. I will not be lost, because you will be with me, guiding, sustaining, protecting, strengthening, and that changes everything. Lord, in this moment, I also ask you, use this transformation within me to reach other people. because I know I am not the only one who struggles with anxiety. I am not the only one who faces fear. There are many people right now going through similar battles. So make me an instrument of your peace, someone who carries hope, someone who encourages, someone who points others to you, even in difficult moments. May my life be a living testimony that it is possible to overcome anxiety, not by our own strength, but by your presence, by your power, by your grace. And as I remain here, Lord, with a completely surrendered heart, I realize that I am reaching a place of fullness, a place where anxiety no longer rules, where fear no longer has authority, where your peace begins to reign more consistently. But I sense there is still one final step, a closing, a conclusion that seals everything that is being done here, a final declaration, a statement of faith, a complete surrender that marks a new beginning. And it is toward this moment that I am being led now, a moment of deep gratitude, of final strengthening, of firm declaration, a moment where everything that began as a cry is transformed into certainty. And I remain here, Lord, ready, with an open heart, prepared to conclude this prayer in your presence. Lord my God, now that I reach this deep moment in your presence, I feel as though my soul has walked through an entire journey, a path that began with anguish, with heaviness, with an urgent cry for help, and now is being transformed into something completely different, into rest, into security, into a peace I cannot fully explain. But I know it comes from you. Beloved Father, I thank you, not only for the answers that are still to come, but for what you have already done within me as I prayed, because I can see that something has changed, something has been rearranged within my heart. What once felt like chaos is now beginning to find balance. What once was confusion is now becoming clarity. What once was fear is now being replaced by faith. And I recognize, Lord, that this did not come from me. It was not my strength. It was not my ability. It was your presence. It was your Spirit working within me. It was your love surrounding me in a way I could never produce on my own. Father, I thank you because even when I could not fully express what I felt, you already understood. Even when my words were limited, you already knew the depth of my pain. And still, you did not step away. You came closer. You embraced me. You sustained me. And now, Lord, as I remember once again your word, that cry recorded in the psalm, I sought the Lord, and he answered me. He delivered me from all my fears. I can now say with a heart full of faith, I believe this. I receive this. I declare this over my life. I sought the Lord, and you are answering me. Perhaps not in the way I expected, perhaps not with immediate visible signs, but with something even deeper, with inner transformation, with healing of the soul, with freedom from fear. Lord, seal this within me. Let this truth remain alive in my days, that I may not return to living dominated by anxiety, that I may not give space again for fear to govern my decisions. And when anxiety tries to return, because I know it may try, remind me of this moment. Remind me of this prayer. Remind me of your presence. Remind me of what you have already done in me. Give me spiritual awareness to recognize when my thoughts begin to drift, and strength to redirect them back to you, always back to you. Father, I also thank you because I am beginning to understand that the peace you give me does not depend on everything being resolved around me. It does not depend on immediate answers. It does not depend on perfect circumstances. It depends on your constant presence. And that completely changes the way I see life. Because now, even if there are challenges, even if there are uncertainties, even if there are things I still do not understand, I can rest, I can breathe, I can move forward without that constant weight that once followed me. Lord, I place my tomorrow into your hands. Every detail, every situation, every encounter, every decision, I surrender it all to you. I no longer want to live trying to predict everything, trying to control everything, trying to guarantee everything. I want to live trusting, resting, depending on you. Guide me, Father, step by step, decision by decision, thought by thought. Lead my life according to your will. And when I feel weak, remind me that your strength is made perfect in my weakness. When I feel insecure, remind me that my security is in you. When I feel lost, remind me that you are my shepherd, and I shall not lack anything. Lord, guard my heart as well, because I know that from it flow the springs of life. Protect my emotions, protect my thoughts, protect my peace. Do not allow negative words, difficult situations, or external influences to steal what you are building within me now. Strengthen me daily, renew me constantly, fill me with your presence every day, because I know this journey does not end here. It continues, it develops, it grows, and I want to remain steadfast, Lord. I want to keep seeking you, not only in difficult moments, but in every moment, because I now understand that your presence is not only a refuge in pain, it is also the path to a full life. Beloved Father, I thank you for every person who is also praying with me right now. You know every heart, every story, every struggle, every anxiety, every hidden fear. And I ask you, reach each one of these people now, just as you have reached me. Bring peace where there is unrest. Bring light where there is darkness. Bring hope where there is discouragement. May no one finish this prayer the same way they started. May each person truly feel your presence, your peace, your care. Lord, may this prayer be a milestone, a turning point, a dividing line, where fear begins to lose its power and faith begins to grow, where anxiety begins to fade and peace begins to reign. And I declare in faith that new days will come, lighter days, calmer days, days where your presence will be more clearly perceived, days where I will walk with greater confidence, not in myself, but in you. Thank you, Lord, for not giving up on me, for sustaining me even when I did not notice, for loving me even in my failures, for calling me closer even when I was drifting away. Thank you for who you are, faithful, constant, present, powerful, loving. And now, Lord, I close this prayer not with an ending, but with a new beginning, the beginning of a lighter life, more confident, more aligned with you. I move forward, not alone, but with you, always with you. In Jesus' name, amen. If this prayer spoke to your heart, I want to invite you to take a simple step. Don't keep it just to yourself. Comment below, I trust in God. This strengthens your faith and also reaches others who need this message. Leave a like so more people can find this prayer and be touched just as you were. And subscribe to the channel, The Meaning of the Bible, because here you'll find words that strengthen the soul, renew your faith, and draw you closer to God every day. May the peace of the Lord be with you.